Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Money Factor here on the Sphere. This is LaShonda Johnson, your certified financial educator and also the co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance. And
good morning, it's Tony Sanders, also the co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance and your licensed financial professional and your certified financial education instructor. We got an exciting show for you this morning. Man, it's Monday.
Monday.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
Like and we're still in our pink.
Yes.
Think Pink for breast cancer awareness.
Absolutely.
And
we got a
breast
special
cancer
guest.
Awareness Month. And
yes,
Tony, can you introduce our guest?
Man, we have a special guest, LaShonda. I think we couldn't have done any better for you guys this month. Let me tell you, we've had some incredible guests, coming on and sharing their stories. We've talked about the importance of having early detection, getting early detection and proper protection. But let me tell you something. We have none other than Chris Noble with the Rose.
Woohoo! Can we see some hand
Good
claps
morning.
over here?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, we are super excited to have you.
Thank you.
We just want you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Sure. I am the friend raiser for the Rose. My name is Chris Noble, and I spend 99% of my time out in the community making friends for the Rose, convincing ladies to come see us and get her mammogram.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. That is so important. So please tell the listening audience, those and some of those who are on Facebook that can see us, tell them about the Rose.
Sure. The Rose is a 32-year-old nonprofit whose mission is no woman dies needlessly of breast cancer just because she doesn't have health insurance.
Wow.
That's
powerful.
Basically, that's very
That's a
powerful.
powerful statement right
Absolutely.
there.
And our co-founders 32 years ago got tired of seeing women come to them with late-stage breast cancer, and the only reason being they had nowhere to go because they had no health insurance.
Wow.
Yes. Cool ladies, Dixie Malillo and Dorothy Gibbons.
Shout out to those two ladies.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you so much.
Thank you
have-
so much.
Thank you so much.
They have saved many, many, many women's lives and families over 32 years, for
Wow.
sure. For sure.
And I love that because, of course, that's what the Houston Housewives of Finance is all about, saving and protecting lives, whether it's financially or bringing awareness, whatever that awareness is, that's where we want to be the resource in our community, to bring the awareness to our community. So I thank you again for,
You're welcome.
being here, and we're going to have a fabulous show. This lady is a little fireball, too, let me tell you.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. I just have to admit it. I am. But you won't forget me. You may go,
Absolutely.
who was that
we
woman?
We don't want you to forget her because
Right.
what she does is very, very important. And when we're talking about saving lives as far as breast cancer awareness is concerned, I just want to say really quick that it's admirable that you guys are doing those things for people who don't have insurance. You know how many people don't have insurance? So a lot of people don't have insurance, or their insurance doesn't cover certain things. And I like that there's no limitations on who you serve.
Right.
So kind of tell us a little bit about the services that the Rose provides.
And kind of how it works. Yeah.
Yes, please.
We provide mammograms, screening mammograms, which every woman over 40 needs every year. And we also provide diagnostic mammograms, ultrasound biopsies, and bone density. I'm not sure why we do bone density, but we do, and I have mine done there. So
That's awesome, though.
cool.
Yes, that's important
So
too.
it's important too, and we have about a $13 million budget, and over half of that budget is covered by the insured women who come to us. So that's pretty
Wow.
awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
It's kind of a 3-to-1 ratio. If you're an insured woman, I ask you to please bring your insured breasts to the Rose.
I brought my tatas there.
I need your insured breasts.
Yes.
Because about every 3 insured women that come to us make it possible for us to take care of and provide a mammogram to an uninsured woman. And should she be detected with, I can't even talk this morning, she be diagnosed with breast cancer, we get her treatment. Which
That's
means
awesome.
she's going to get treatment all the way through reconstruction.
Wow.
And all the support she needs, plus 5 years out after her treatment.
Wow, and they need that support. And that's very powerful in itself, too, to know that, hey, you go there because you're insured and you help someone who is not insured.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, not that we don't need donations.
Absolutely.
But just bring your insured
Absolutely.
tatas to us and we're
yes,
good.
insurance, your,
Yeah,
your,
we're
your
good.
donations, everything.
Yes,
Absolutely.
everything counts. And for 32 years, we saw that woman who was either insured or uninsured. We now have a new woman coming to us, and it's kind of bothersome because she's insured. But if she needs a follow-up ultrasound or biopsy, it's covered under her deductible, which is $5,000, $7,000, $10,000.
Wow.
So it's really creepy to say, but she'd be better off
Just
if she
coming to
didn't
you.
have health insurance.
Yeah.
And that's a
Wow.
terrible thing to say,
That's
that our
bad.
health insurance
Is that bad?
is that bad. And we're seeing that woman. Now, we're not sending her away, and we're offering payment plans and things like that. But you know what happens to payment plans?
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes people can't
they can't
pay all of
afford
it.
it. Right.
Yes.
it costs us money to collect it.
Right.
So it's not the best scenario.
Correct.
But we're not going to just say, "Oh, okay, goodbye."
Wow. Doing
Yeah.
wonderful things
Yeah.
in our community.
Yes.
Wonderful
Absolutely.
things.
Yes.
So tell us, how would a person take advantage of your services? How would they get involved? I mean, how whether they have insurance or not, what is the protocol?
Basically, if you're an insured woman and you've had your mammogram done somewhere else, which hopefully you have, you call the Rose, make an appointment, and you can either get your films from your previous mammogram, or we can get them for you before the appointment. Because basically, the radiologist sees something or compares last year's to this year's or previous year's. So that's the insured woman. We don't use the word free mammogram.
Okay.
We use the word sponsored because it is sponsored. And
Okay.
it's sponsored by federal monies that come to us through the federal government or through the state government. And as taxpayers ourselves, we want the woman who needs it the most
To be able
to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to qualify for that sponsored mammogram. First of all, you have to have a doctor's orders,
Okay.
which can sometimes be a stumbling block because if you're not getting a mammogram every year, you're probably not going to the doctor every year.
Right, right.
So, but we do give you some places where you can go to get your orders that are close to you, that are either on a sliding scale or free, so you can have that. And that's basically law, because we have to have somewhere to send your results,
Absolutely.
especially if they're not good.
Well, what I'm hearing too, Chris, is that I love the fact that the Rose is really a resource.
Yes.
Whether you have it or you don't have it, let us help you. We're going to take all the excuses off the table as far as
Yes.
why you're not getting it. So it's not because you don't have a doctor. Let me help you find a doctor. It's not because you don't have the resources. Well, we can help you get the resources as well. So
There's also a monetary component to it, and there's a formula of 200% below the poverty level. And when I came to work at the Rose, I'm thinking, what the heck is 200% below the poverty level? That must be a woman that's not working at all. She's in a shelter.
okay.
No.
Well,
She can be that woman working 40 hours a week with maybe making minimum wage, a couple of kids. And so That just blew my mind, really.
Wow.
And most of the women who receive our sponsored mammograms are working women. They fall into that income category. And you do have to prove that because we want to give to the neediest,
Absolutely.
not somebody who's
We just-
looking
yeah.
to get one.
Right.
So basically, if you have 1 or 2 children and you're making minimum wage, you're going to qualify.
Okay.
You're going to qualify.
Okay. So.
You prove it by tax return, pay stub. If you don't work in that realm, maybe you help somebody take care of their children.
Right.
If we can get an affidavit from them saying what you pay. Worst case, if we can't get any of that, we ask you to sign an affidavit that says you make this amount of
Absolutely.
money. So you're not turned away, but it is a process. We
Right.
don't just say, come on down.
Right.
There is a process. And,
Well, how long does that process
Process take?
generally take?
you know, what we tend to do is when you call in, we tell you what you need.
Okay.
And then we set an appointment for a couple of weeks out so that you have time to get that doctor's orders, get your financial things in order so that when you come to your appointment, you have it all.
Right. Well, speaking of financials in order, that brings me to the point that's why you have to sit down with the Houston Housewives of Finance. You know, that's another thing. Do it while you're healthy enough, and you have it, so you'll have exactly what you know what you have. Remember, if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. Everyone should know their numbers.
Yes.
Everybody should know their
Everybody should know.
numbers.
Not only do you need to know your numbers, but you need to prepare for if your results are not favorable.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right.
And
Right.
so I love it when you say it's better to be, protected 5 years too early than
Then
5 minutes too
late.
late.
I like
That's
that.
right.
I like that. I like that.
Because, when you get that diagnosis, then you know that it's going to be a journey to recovery.
Right.
Right.
And like you said before we even started the show, you was like, it's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And so talk to us about now that person that their results is not favorable. How do you assist that
Basically,
lady?
there's money to pay for your treatment through the federal government, and so we help you fill out all the paperwork and get it all turned in and get everything squared away. You're given a patient navigator who's your best friend, who helps you with that paperwork
Right.
and with telling your family your diagnosis, going with you to help you understand your diagnosis, telling your kids your diagnosis, going.
And you need that support.
All of that,
Oh
Yes,
my
because
goodness.
the first thing you think when you get that is like, oh my gosh,
What
am
do I
gonna
do?
die?
What do I
Yeah.
do? And you have that woman who supports you. Are we having to go to a commercial here?
Yes, we are.
Because I had a couple of things I wanted to share with you from
Well, we don't want
yesterday,
you to. We don't want
I
to
won't
interrupt
forget
you
'em.
on that. So it is time for us to talk about our first sponsor, which is Elite Dental Wellness, and Elite Dental Wellness. Their vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and a friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Chandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680.
All right.
Cool.
You want to have a bright smile?
Yes. Shine bright like a diamond.
Shine like a diamond. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so tell us what
Tell us what I want to tell
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Couple of things. If you don't qualify for one of our mammograms and you do not have health insurance, we offer a mammogram for $210. You can't get a mammogram in the universe
no,
for
for that.
$210.
No.
Yeah.
So that's one option. And then yesterday, I went to a couple events yesterday, and my good friend, my stunt double, went with me. And she said she was talking to these girls, and she was talking about how to pay for it if you needed to. I said, really? I said, what did you tell them? She said, okay, this is what we used to do in the old days. We would get a jar, and we would put our extra change in this jar, and that's your mammogram jar.
Absolutely.
And you started today, and in a year when you need your mammogram, you're probably going to have that $200.
You're going to have it
I love that because now you're putting your health
first.
first, which you can't do You can't take care of the people you need to take care of if you're not well.
If you don't
that
take
was one
care-
thing from
yes.
yesterday. And then I had a coffee date. And this guy says to me, I don't understand why is breast cancer awareness and breast cancer stuff everywhere, not just in October, but everywhere. And you know why that is? Because you can cure it. We don't talk a lot about pancreatic cancer. We don't talk about a lot of other things, bone cancers. But breast cancer, if caught early, which now can be caught early, can be survivable. That's
Absolutely.
why we talk about it all the time. Because you don't
Absolutely.
have to die from it, especially if you live in Houston, Texas, or
Absolutely.
Harris County, or the
Absolutely.
other 35 counties we go to.
Absolutely.
You don't have to die
And
from it.
that's the whole thing, is the early detection,
Yes,
finding
yes,
out
yes,
early enough.
yes.
And that's a good point that you brought up that I never even thought about. I don't know about you, LaShonda, but yeah, we talk about it because there is a cure.
There's a cure.
Yes.
And we always talk about that there is
Yes,
a cure.
there's a cure.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good message. Because like I said, typically when you hear, been diagnosed breast cancer, I'm just speaking for myself. Growing up, I just always thought, they're gonna die. TV depicts that.
Right.
Everything depicts that you're gonna die from it.
Right.
And so to know that there is a cure, I mean, the cure is early detection, you guys. We can't say that enough.
Right.
Right.
So we had a survivor on the show last episode. She talked about being able to find out early. It saved her. She's 8 years, in remission or recovered. So you guys, it's a big deal.
Right.
So
It is a big deal.
for women, we do need to take early detection and proper protection very, very serious. Okay, because I just want to say that yes, breast cancer is one of the things that claims our lives. It's one of the top things that claims women's lives. However, there's other diseases too that we need to be prepared for. We're living longer.
Right.
Medical technology, we can thank medical technology because we're living longer, but we just need to be prepared all the way around. I love
Absolutely.
the idea of saving, putting
thought
that
that
money
was
in the
great.
drawer, but
Right.
Simple.
truth be told, let's just cut out a couple of happy hours, a couple of nights out dinner.
Or a Starbucks. Sorry, guys.
or-
Well, you know what? I
and
was
we
thinking
can
the
pay
same.
for it.
I
Yeah.
was thinking the same thing. I was thinking of, come on, ladies, let's be real. We always have little personal savings for shoes and shopping and things like that. It has to be prioritized. Remember what we always say: save. It's not about the lifestyle, but you want to be a saver so that when those life things happen, because life happens, you want to be prepared.
Yes.
And most people aren't prepared. Now they'll spend on some shoes and things like that, but things that really matter,
Yes.
Yeah.
they won't prepare for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why you have to reach out to us so that we can help you prepare for these things, you guys. So the very first layer of planning for your future is proper protection on your life, health, and disability.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then of course we're going to talk about long-term care as well, because that is also an issue. People's prognosis are different. And so I want you to talk a little bit about the support side, not the financial support, but the support,
The mental support.
the mental and
support.
emotional
Yes.
support.
That's it's interesting because there are a lot of groups that help women after they've gone through their support and their survivors. Churches are so big in this city that there's so many churches with either cancer ministries
Right.
or breast cancer ministries. There's a lot of that. There's an organization locally called Angels Surviving Cancer. And I actually am a member of the Angels. They are my angels because they've come to my rescue to help some women who needed some help. We had a young woman 2 years ago who was living in a shelter. She had left her husband because he was not nice. It took her 2 children, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer living in a shelter
Can you
with 2
imagine
kids.
going through all
All
of
of
that?
And so it was the angels. I introduced them, and it was the angels that came to her support. Some of them helped her go to some of her appointments when the shelter couldn't do that for her. We did have to find a shelter that she could live in that would be close to her treatment.
Okay.
The one that she was living in the beginning wasn't close enough.
Wow.
Because she needed to get to her treatment. But there's organizations like Angels Surviving Cancer that reach out to women either during their treatment or after their treatment and bring them into that association. The very first event I went to, all the survivors stood up and walked around and touched your shoulder and said you'd been touched by an angel. So they had me.
That's beautiful.
They had me. And so now they have a fabulous prayer breakfast every year with like 500 people, and they raise funds to do just the things to help and support those women during and after breast cancer.
So, Chris, how did you become a part of the Rose? What's your story?
My story. I've had my mammogram done at the Rose for 25 years. I can have my mammogram done anywhere I want, but I've had it done at the Rose for 25 years. 20 years of that, I was just a patient. I would just go. I knew about the Rose. Some of my girlfriends knew about the Rose, so we would just go because we knew that if we went with our insurance, another woman would be able to get her mammogram. And then 5 years ago, I closed my business, and my goal was to get healthy. I lost 75 to 80 pounds, depending on where you start. Went on a vacation. That was my next goal. And my third was to retire. So I went on the vacation. I started the eating program, and I retired for 6 weeks. And one day I looked at myself in the mirror and said, Chris, you need a job.
What was your business?
Yeah,
I had an IT firm.
Oh.
Yeah, for 25 years.
She just not even struck me as an IT person.
Well, I just hired the smart guys.
I thought you were going to say like I had a boutique or
Yeah,
something.
I
You just have that.
I hired
that
the
free
smart
spirit.
guys.
Wow.
It was, people would say, tell me how to do this. I'd say, Ed, would you do this for me? That was
right.
how I did this. And so I put a hit list together of 3 nonprofits whose mission I thought I could be
A part of.
that I could be passionate about. One was Houston Area Women's Center. One was Crime Stoppers. And one was the Rose. And I met with the heads of all 3 of those. I knew all 3 of those women, and no one had a job for me. But Dorothy Gibbons at the Rose said, come to work and we'll figure out what you're going to do.
Wow.
So I came to work at the Rose January 13th, 2013. And I just kind of went around and just looked at what we were doing and the different kinds of stuff. And about 2 months into it, I noticed, or I kept hearing these staggering statistics for African American women and how awful the numbers are. And it wasn't that the Rose didn't have African American women coming to them, but a lot of women didn't know about us. A lot of black women didn't know about us. And I know from my personal, my business is that you do business with people you know and you like.
Exactly.
That's what we say.
You know and you like.
Right.
And so I went to Dorothy and I said, this is what I want to do. And she said, well, that'd be fabulous. We haven't an outreach to the African American community. So that's what I started. And a couple of months after I kind of started it and had this ideas, my boss asked me, Dorothy said, I think it's wonderful, but I don't get it. Why are you so passionate about black women? I said, I'll tell you the story. Chris Noble graduated from University of Houston. I was a teacher, and the first 8 years of my business career, of my adult working life, was teaching in black schools. And my mentors were seasoned black teachers and principals. And I think when I was hearing this and reading this, I was getting that tap on the shoulder. Chris, you know us. Help us.
Yes.
And so that's why I did this. And the other thing that happened to me is I was at a Sisters Network event, and across the table from me was Kim Roxy with Lamique Beauty. And I knew that day that I needed to hitch our wagon to her star because she was a star.
Absolutely.
And so she and I became partners in good, and we just had our fifth annual
I
event.
saw that, yes.
Some of your girls were there,
Yes.
5th annual event, and we've raised almost $200,000 for the cause.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
Kim and I are partners in good.
Wow.
I'm not sure where she is, but I know she's out talking about the Rose.
Absolutely. Kim Lamique with Lamique, she does some fabulous things. I have to shout out to Kim. I was actually introduced to Kim by my daughter, who is very passionate about makeup, and man, that's why you're here. Somebody told me your story.
You just told me that story.
And they told me that you were very passionate about the African American women. And that touched me so much that I was like, I got to meet her. I gotta have her on.
But everybody remembers their first bosses,
Absolutely.
their mentors,
Yes.
good,
Absolutely.
bad. Everybody does, and it's really kind of, I've come full circle, and I've had a career in education. I left education not because I didn't like to teach. I wanted to buy a house. I could not buy a house on a teacher's salary with 8 years work experience and a master's degree. And it's
And
not
you
a
still
whole
weren't
lot.
in a position to do that even with all of that.
Yes. And so I left teaching and was in the business world for quite a few 30 years. And then I've been at the Rose for 5. And ladies, this is the best chapter of my life.
She's living her best life.
This is
Hey,
the
I
best
love
chapter. You know, the other chapters were good when I was going through them.
Right.
But looking back, because to be able to help the Rose save some women's
Yeah,
lives and
I mean,
families, what a
that
great
is-
chapter.
that's
So you know what?
incredible.
We're just gonna put it out there. The Houston Housewives of Finance, LaShonda Johnson, Tony Sanders. We want to partner with the Rose too.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
This,
'Cause
this
Absolutely.
is amazing. This is
need,
amazing.
We need all the partners. We need for
Count
women
us
to
in.
know that they just don't have to die from this.
Absolutely,
Count us
absolutely.
in.
And I love what
Okay.
you said before we go to our next sponsor. But I love what you said about people just didn't know.
Yeah.
They
I'll tell you a
just
story
didn't
about
Knowledge
know.
is power.
I'll tell you a story about it. You
Okay,
didn't
so
know.
let's go here. So
I got
this
plenty
portion
of
of the show is being sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting a business? Are you looking for a place to advertise? Or do you need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
Boom.
Man, I'm just so excited about. I love the stories, because that's what it's all
History.
about.
The
History, yeah,
of
and
how
just
things
how
came
things
about.
came about.
came
Yes.
about.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, because you could have, like you said, you could have your mammogram anywhere she wanted to have it. She could possibly just be, traveling the world, not even be concerned about you and I, those of us who still back here, still trying to figure out life. But I like that you made your retirement purposeful.
Yes, me too.
And
Me too.
there's no better purpose than fighting for something that you believe in and helping others through it. And so that's what I'm excited about through all of this is that, and I want to say this too. It wasn't that she was a person that was inflicted with breast cancer.
I have not had breast
She
cancer.
has not. So those of us who have not, we can still give our service and time
Absolutely.
and support. You guys, which brings me to the point, we're going to be having an event October 27th. It's on our Facebook page. I'll give our producer a little bit of time to get to it because I didn't put it in to run the show. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you did.
But October 27th, we're hosting an event, the Houston Housewives of Finance and Wealthy and Healthy. We're hosting an event from 4 to 6 p.m. And this event is going to be all about breast cancer early detection and also proper protection. Okay, they go together. Okay,
They absolutely do.
And so we're officially inviting Chris Noble to come out to that event.
Thank you.
And there's going to be some other people there too, and of course Tony and I and the rest of
Absolutely.
the affiliates. We're going to be talking about getting properly protected, you guys, for critical, chronic, terminal care. When these things come about, of course we're very excited about the Rose, but if we're taking care of our business, we can leave those funds to people who are less fortunate.
Absolutely.
And so we need to make sure that we're properly protected. We're definitely taking advantage of early detection. Okay. So if you're watching us, it's on the screen right now. This event, if you go to our Facebook page, which is the Houston Housewives of Finance
Official.
if it doesn't say official, it's not us. Just click on events. And there you'll have it. There's the event. It's going to be a couple of hours. We're going to have light bites and refreshments for you guys, but a lot of good information. Wear your pink, and we would like for you to bring a pair of pink socks. We want to donate those to the women who are currently undergoing treatment for breast cancer. Okay, some pink socks. You can pick those up, and you don't have to bring just one pair. You can bring 5 pair, 6 pair, 10 pair. And of course, the Rose. The Rose, their website, we're going to share that with you right now. You can go and donate, you guys. Every dollar counts.
Every dollar.
When we're trying to support people who don't have. And so we've got to become a generation of people who give.
Givers, yes.
I also like that you handpicked 3 organizations that she wanted to give her time and support and energy to. I'm going to encourage you guys to do the same thing. Pick something. We also have a nonprofit organization.
Absolutely.
It's the Housewives of Finance Foundation. And the Housewives of Finance Foundation, we're about empowering people with education in all facets and walks of life so that they can become better at whatever they want to do or whoever they want to be. Consumerism, whatever it is, we want to empower people through education. And this is an incredible topic.
Wow. Yes.
It is.
We couldn't let Breast Cancer Awareness Month pass without dedicating this month to education.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And so
Thank you.
we're so glad that you're here with us to share about what the Rose is doing. So where is the Rose located?
We actually have a couple of locations. Our corporate headquarters are at Fuquay and 45, so that's southeast, I guess.
Yes.
And then the other is at 59 and 610. I have an office there, but I'm not there, so don't come there looking for me. Because I'm out making friends, and I already have friends in that building, so I won't
Don't come for her there.
do not look for me there. I have my phone there forwarded to my cell phone. So.
I tell you, this is definitely, I don't know what else to say, but divine intervention. I was at Boudreaux's 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And I looked outside the window, and what did I see?
The
You
Rose.
saw the
Yeah.
ribbon on the building.
I sure did.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Me and
cool.
Keisha.
You and Keisha? Oh,
we were
yeah,
having
cool.
lunch.
It's amazing. I'm here because I went to a blues and jazz festival in Galveston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Things just happen.
Yeah.
If you open them
way
up,
they're
and
supposed
I
to.
met your your 2 ladies there. They were
she
absolutely
met
awesome.
Keisha Berry and Danielle.
Yeah, I met the 2 of them there, and I was just like, these girls are so cool. We need to do something together because you'd introduce the Rose to some new people.
Absolutely.
And that's what we need. I mean, I'm building an army
Mm.
because
I love it.
we capture patient stories. Because when we do grants and things like that, we need to show the women that would benefit.
Right.
And we had a patient story at our team meeting. Her name was not Clara, but we called her Clara. Clara was is a 60-year-old African American woman who came to us through a physician. Her left breast was nothing but tumor.
Oh, wow.
Nothing but tumor. I don't know what her outcome is, but I can assure you it's not good. It is not a good thing. So she was asked, how long had it been going on? 2 years. Why didn't you have it checked out? I had no health insurance, and I didn't know where to go.
Wow.
So that day, driving home from my meeting, tears kind of came to my eyes, and I'm like, look, thinking to myself, the Rose has been out there for 32 years. Mm-hmm. I've been on the streets for 5, and any woman who makes eye contact with me is going to know about the Rose. And I missed her. And so out loud, I said to myself, Chris, I do a lot of talking to Chris, you need an army.
Yes.
And so I've been building this army. Everywhere I go, I ask women to provide their name, their email address, a phone number if possible. And once a month, once every 6 weeks, I send something out to them so they can send it out to their circle of influence and so on.
Well, I want to be a part of that army so that I can share it with my
Yes.
circle of influence
Yes. And
because
just
Me
keep sharing it
too.
out.
absolutely.
Because we need
Me
an
too.
army.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys, if you want to be a
Wow.
part of that army, you've got to
contact me.
Tell them how to contact you. Chris.
cnoble@therose.org. just reach out and tell me you want to be on the Army. I promise you I won't bombard you with emails. A couple months ago, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee was having a mom summit, so I sent that out. So it's, so it's just to be aware of what's going
Absolutely.
on.
Yeah, as
and all
women,
of
we've
that.
got to pull together.
Yes.
I mean, man, it's just so many things going on in our political climate that just really discredits women. So we've got to do what we
Yes.
can
Yes,
to
yes.
get to
You know,
encourage
yes,
each
yes,
other, help
we
each
do.
other, expand our life
Yeah.
together. We
And
got to do those
reach
things.
one,
Yes.
teach one, and
Yes.
make sure
Yes.
because just because like she said, just because I knew about the rose, but do my friends in my circle of influence, do you all know about the rose? Do you know that it exists? But one thing that I didn't know, Chris, that I'm going to take advantage of because it's time for my mammogram to come up. I do have insurance, but I'm going to take my insurance and my tatas to the rose.
Excellent.
And,
Excellent. And
I'm
simultaneously.
gonna go too. I'm gonna go
Absolutely.
too.
Because
So-
if I can help someone else, that's what it's all about.
That's
It's
what it's
not
all
about
about.
us. It's about how
Who
many people can you help.
Who can you help?
So the three of us
Absolutely.
represent helping one uninsured woman.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you're on Medicare, as I am, we take Medicare. So.
Wow.
So, you guys, we really have no excuse, for not helping each other and not helping ourselves. You got to help yourself first before you help somebody else.
Absolutely.
Right. Speaking of-
I totally agree. So speaking
Yeah.
of helping somebody,
There you
hey,
go.
this portion of the show is being sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowered movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com. And use the coupon code DOPE, DOPE, exclamation point, for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. Sizes are selling out fast.
You know
I'll
what
tell
I'm
you.
saying?
Yes, you know what I'm saying. I think the rose is dope.
Yes.
I do too.
Yes.
What does dope mean?
That it is.
I think it's cool.
It's cool. It is
She says,
cool.
what
What
does
does dope
dope
mean?
Well, dope
But I knew
means-
it was a good thing.
Okay, what else is dope is her. You guys see her pink,
Her
the
pink
that she
hair.
has in her hair.
Yes.
that's super dope.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Chris is dope.
It's
Yes.
Chris's
The rose
dope.
is dope.
she's got a little nice little cute handbag with roses on it. Her jeans
Her
have
jeans
roses
has
on it.
Let me tell you something
She's
else that's
looking
dope, though.
hey.
I'm dope.
Yes. But something else that's even doper is you going and getting your mammograms done,
Yes,
having
please.
early detection and getting proper protection. That's really dope.
Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
speaking of proper protection, you guys, so we've been sharing statistics with you guys this whole month. Last month, we were sharing statistics with you guys about proper life insurance. It's very important to have protection on your life, okay? We shared on one of our episodes about, there's a large population of single moms and the devastation, financial devastation that would be left in their family if they don't have proper protection, and we can't stress that enough, you guys. We've got to start taking care of the things that matter. Put the handbag down, okay? Put the shoes down.
Right.
Those things are always going to be there. As long as we open our eyes, there's going to be retailers pushing things to you. But the key is, how long will you be able to open your eyes? And have you spent money in the right places, which is protecting you as your greatest asset?
Yes. Yes.
It's very, very important.
Yes.
So if we could just talk a little bit about, in your experience of the 5 years of working with the Rose, the economic pressures that face women, whether they have insurance or
they
not.
don't. Yeah.
Because, I want you to know, too, just because you do have insurance doesn't leave you exempt from dealing with things. The survivor that we had on the show last week, a very good friend of ours, she's like, insurance didn't cover everything.
Right. Insurance not going to cover
So
it all.
share with us about that.
Yeah, I don't know specifically what the dollars are going to be, but I do know personally that in my case, Medicare doesn't cover everything. It
Right.
covers 80%, so I got to come up with 20. And for some people, that 20 is going to be hard to do.
Absolutely.
With the newer insurance plans and programs with the high deductible,
Right.
you're good. You're good getting those screenings, but then if you need some sort of treatment, you got some big deductible to fill.
Absolutely.
And there's so many ways to treat anything you have. That you don't have to die of breast cancer. You don't have to die of heart disease.
Right.
You don't have to have a stroke. I mean, those three things.
Oh my gosh, I love.
I mean,
Can
those.
you repeat that?
Yeah, you don't have to die of any of these.
Yes.
Basically, the number one killer of women is heart disease.
Heart disease.
2 is breast cancer, and 3 is stroke. Well, if you maintain a good weight, don't smoke, get some sort of exercise. My form of exercise is put the shoes on and walk out the door, and then have your screenings. You're pretty good.
Wow.
You're healthy.
Yes.
And go to the doctor
Yes.
once a year just to get screened, because if you are diagnosed with something, you want to be the healthiest you can be.
So that you can fight it.
So you can fight it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
guys, that's something that we shared about early detection, and that was some of the key things that we put out there. Limit your alcohol consumption.
Yes.
Don't smoke. Don't smoke, you
Wow.
guys. Please don't smoke. I mean, I'm very passionate about that because I lost my mom to lung cancer. And eating right, and also exercising, getting active.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yes.
That takes you back to our Wealthy and Healthy.
Wealthy and Healthy
Yes, we
program.
have a Wealthy and
Yes,
Healthy
we have a
program.
Wealthy and Healthy program. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, it's Wealthy with a $sign and Healthy. And on Instagram is get_and_healthy, Wealthy and Healthy. So, you guys, prevention is so powerful. It's some things we have absolutely no control
Absolutely.
over. But getting up and being active, we do. What we put in our mouth to eat, we do.
Right.
Going to some place that's saying, listen, we don't care if you don't have coverage. We've got you covered to get early detection. You do have control over these things. I love it that you say you're pretty good if you do those things.
Yeah.
Right.
And
It's a trifecta. You got all
Yes.
3 of those covered because
Right.
it's the same for
yes.
all 3.
And if something happens, then you want to be in your best absolute health to be able to fight it.
Yes.
Because if your health is on a downslope, then how can
You can't.
fight your way back to normal health when you're not even at your optimal health?
Right.
It's hard to do that.
It's hard to do.
Right.
It's hard to do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow.
And you don't have to exercise anyway fancy. You don't have to go to a gym.
No.
You don't have to buy a cute
Just
outfit.
no.
Put the shoes on and walk out the door.
Just walk out the door.
I like that.
And
Put
keep
your
walking
shoes on.
until you,
Hey.
walk.
Right.
I
get
have a
moving.
1.5 mile route, a 2 mile route, and a 3 mile route. And I do one of those most every day.
Wow.
At some point in time. And in the beginning, I put my shoes on and I walked 10 minutes out and then walked back. And just, over time,
You just built up.
built
You'd be
it up.
surprised how that
Yeah.
really helps.
really does.
And myself, I've just made. Hey, we're not spring chickens
Right.
anymore.
I've been seeing LaShonda
so-
on social media.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
at
like,
it.
every
doing it.
day. I have to do something to keep
Yes.
active. Really, because if I don't feel good.
Right.
I just feel
You do
very
feel better.
lethargic. I feel so much better when I'm moving, and we're very active in what we do, and so we're on our feet most
All
of the
the time.
day, all the time,
Long hours.
long hours, and by choice, by the
absolutely.
way,
Yes.
and you just have to be. You've got to take care of yourself,
Yeah.
and when you get in, I was reading on postmenopausal statistics, and women in postmenopause, man, you have some risks there if you're not doing
Yes.
these things.
Yes.
And so I'm like, okay, I do want to live my best life.
Absolutely.
So I have to be the person that controls that. Nobody else is responsible for that. Just like nobody else is responsible for your finances.
Absolutely
Nobody
not.
has a more vested interest in you than you.
Than you.
And so you've got to do the necessary
Yes.
things
Yes.
to make these things a reality.
And I think one of the necessary things is coming out to our workshops.
Got to do it.
You have to come out to our workshops. You have to get educated. It's really important so that you can be empowered. And how can you teach one if you don't know? So again, on Tuesday nights, you can meet me at 13831 Northwest Freeway. That's Suite 215, Houston, Texas, 77040. come out on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Just, spend a couple of hours with me, and I promise you it will change your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, cool. And if Tuesday's not convenient for you, you can come check me out on Wednesdays in West Houston. Those of you in City Center, Memorial, Spring Branch, Sugarland, come this way. 11111 Katy Freeway. That's 5 1s, Suite 100 Katy Freeway. And that's Houston, Texas 77079. That's Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and also Saturdays at 10 a.m. You guys invest the time to get yourself educated. Mm-hmm. You got to get serious. Right. You got to get serious. Mm-hmm. We've got to stop playing with our lives, playing with our finances, living out here on a limb, not caring, letting that be our mantra. The mantra of, whatever happens, happens. That's not good enough. It's not good enough, you guys, because there's people that care about us, people that we're responsible for, and just as women, we've just got to do better.
We have to do better.
We have got to do better.
This country needs you.
Yes.
Women. This country
Absolutely.
needs you to step up and be part of, because don't get me going there.
No, go.
We need you to go.
Sometimes when I'm speaking, I look at an audience and I see all this power of these women in there, and we don't take it. Mm-hmm. We're so used to the guys always doing it, and some guys do a good job of it. And it's okay to let them do it, but step forward and do something.
Hello. My gosh. Can we get some hand claps in here, please?
And there you go. And I didn't say this, but I don't care if they're a D or an R, as long as they're a W.
That's right.
Hey.
I'm just saying. I'm keeping.
I know what. I hear exactly what you're saying.
You know what we always say. You know what? We're the new face of the new age of financial services. So there's so many women out there that can do it, and so many men have done it for so long. Why not us?
And you don't have to have a degree in finance.
No,
I have degrees in elementary education.
No,
you don't have to have that.
No,
I think we thought that. Especially women of my vintage thought that you had to have all this knowledge. You really don't have to have this.
Right.
When I had my own company, my father helped me figure out I didn't know how to read a financial statement. What is that? We don't have those in elementary school. Mm-hmm. And my dad taught me how to do that. And it really just was more like common sense. But it doesn't look like common sense when you think somebody knows more than you.
Right.
But somebody knows more than you. I wanted to talk a couple of more things back to
yes,
because I gotta tell your audience this, because we diagnosed last year 6 women in their 20s.
Wow.
We've already diagnosed that many so far.
Wow.
A week before the event that we had at the Ensemble Theater, I met a young woman and her mother at another Rose event. She's 22 years old. She just finished chemo and got her degree. So she's 22 years old.
Wow.
Breast cancer, and when I speak, my new title is, it ain't your grandmother's breast cancer anymore. Mm-hmm. It's Dasha's breast cancer.
Yes.
Who's young.
And I'm thinking 22. Wow, I have
What
a
is
daughter
that?
that's 23. So
and you wouldn't necessarily be looking for breast cancer at 20. So I'm telling you to look at the girls.
Check your girls.
If something's different, tell your mom. Right. Tell somebody.
So it's just like the story I shared on our last episode. I first noticed a benign tumor in ninth grade. Mm-hmm. So I know I was just laying down, Chris, and it just popped up, and I called my mom. I'm like, what is this? So I think that's really important that, even young women, please, if you see something that's out of the norm, just don't put it to the side. Go and tell someone.
Young women can get it.
Yes.
Young women are getting breast cancer.
Well, these things are not discriminatory.
No.
And last I checked, breast cancer didn't say, I'm coming for you who are older. I'm coming for you who are African American only.
No.
It doesn't have any face. It does. No. I mean, it can strike anyone at any time. And so that's why we're saying, especially those of you who are young, get yourself protected. Okay, let's stop this thing about, well, I'm young, I have time. Let's stop, relying on the fact that we have time. We don't know what will strike us.
Right.
Yeah. And so we've got to stop that. We've got to be proactive in every aspect of planning for our future, for our finances, for our health. And we've got to stop this thing of I have time.
So let's touch on that really quick before we get
yeah.
out of here, LaShonda, is because, we talk about long-term care, and they're saying 70% of seniors will need some form of long-term care. Well, let me let you know that number is 40% in between the ages of 18 and 65.
Absolutely.
That lets you know
Wow.
that young people do get sick too.
Yeah, so let's
sure.
go to the Saving Your Future book real quick. I want to share 2 pages with you guys. If you don't have this book, you need to reach out to us. You know how to do that. 1-844-700-4463.
Today too.
Text Ask HHOF to 31996, all one word. Go to our website, hhofinance.com. Whatever way you need to reach out to us, Google us. We're Googleable. You know that.
Right.
Let's go real quick to the first page that talks about being insured. Are you insurable? A lot of people are not insurable and may not know it. Look at this. 1 out of 2 men and 1 out of 3 women will have the risk of developing cancer in their lifetime. Canadians face similar health issues, with 90% of Canadians having at least one risk factor of heart disease or stroke. Thus, if you have the need, buy life insurance as soon as you can while you're healthy and insurable. Buying early is also wise because you may qualify for better rates.
Absolutely.
Don't wait too long, because when you have a health issue, it may be too late. You might find out that you are no longer insurable. Some policies can be issued without medical exams or limited medical questions. These forms of guarantees policy typically charge higher premiums and are only available on lower coverage amounts. But you guys, do something.
Do something.
Get moving. Get
Right.
moving towards your finances and getting yourself protected. And let's also go to the one about long-term care, Tony.
Absolutely. Long-term care, we call it LTC, is a growing problem that families have to deal with. And with the growing number of retirees and problem is only getting worse. Think about it. If you have to take care of your parents while having a job, a family, it can be a huge burden. Many people may have to quit their job to take care of their parents. Even elderly persons who lack the money and assistance have to take care of their spouses, and they are not physically or mentally capable to handle it. LTC is one of the major types of protection and planning for your future or for your aging parents. For most of us, LTC is not an issue of what if it happens, but whether when it happens. The sooner you have this protection, the better, because you never know when something will happen. So who needs long-term care? There's a good chance you do. 70% of people over the age of 65 will require some LTC services. 40% of the receiving LTC are between 18 and 64. The cost of LTC is astounding. The average annual cost of a nursing home is $83,500 plus. In the U.S., that's over $47,000 in Canada.
Wow.
The cost is lower when you are younger. Remember, take advantage of time. Health insurance or Medicare can help pay the cost of your immediate medical expenses, but not for the long-term care of chronically ill people. LTC pays for the insured who becomes chronically ill, which is defined as inability to perform at least 2 of the following activities: your bathing, continence, dressing, eating, toileting, and transferring. Let me tell you something. I heard this, LaShonda. I heard this, Chris, and it was so profound to me. We always talk about people, whether you die too soon or you live too long. But what if you're half dead and half alive?
That's possible. It's a lot of people like that.
So possible.
Your quality of life, you being able to do things for yourself.
Absolutely.
And typically people who end up in a facility, they've gone through several different things before getting there.
Absolutely.
They've gone through everything. That's why they end up there, unless they have a chronic disease or a chronic problem that puts them straight there. But typically, they're going through the process and then they end up there. Those things are not free. They cost they're very expensive.
Very expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
Very
and like
expensive.
you said, you can take care of it.
Yes.
You take care of it when you don't need it, not when you need it. Because when you need it, you can't get it.
Guess what that's called? Planning.
Planning.
Darn.
Yes.
Yeah, it is planning.
All darn.
Very simple.
It's
Very
planning.
simple. plan.
Early detection and proper protection, you guys. Make sure you join us on October the 27th. Let's put this up once more. October the 27th, 4 to 6 p.m. Come out, bring pink socks, go to the Rose prior to, and donate, okay? There's so many things that you can do to help yourself. But one thing you must do is get educated, okay? Understand what you can do and how you can do it. And then pass it on. So be a friend and share this event with a friend. All women need to be here. You know,
Absolutely.
as many people as we can pack in, we'll take. So we look forward to seeing you guys on October 27th.
That's going to be incredible.
Yes.
Chris, I can't thank you enough.
You're more than
For
welcome.
everything that you do, for our community, for every woman, not just for the African American family and our sisters, but for every sister who's ever affected by this issue and this disease. We thank you for all your service.
Absolutely.
welcome.
Thank
And-
you for
Well,
being here.
It is a job, and I am paid, but I get much more back than I ever give. I mean, it's awesome.
But you could have
Yeah.
been
I'm an
anywhere.
awesome-
You
You
could
could've
have been
done anything.
anywhere.
I could have been other places. I don't know about anywhere. But
But your personality,
I
we do.
mean,
Billy, you
I
could be
get-
anywhere.
I do go to my boss sometimes. I say, I'm sorry, Shannon. I know it's not all about me, but can I tell you what happened to me yesterday? So, I mean, I live a blessed life. And a lot of it is because I planned it along the way. A lot of the stuff you're telling your audience, I had the good fortune to have people advise me. And the smartest thing you can do is take their advice.
Absolutely.
Stop
And our
blowing it
advice
off.
is
Take the
compliment-
advice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Especially when the advice is complimentary.
Right.
The services we provide is complimentary. I cannot tell
Take the
you
advice.
how many benevolent hours we have
Oh, my
spent
goodness.
helping you guys to make sure you understand what to do for yourself.
Right.
Take the advice.
So
you got to take the advice.
Right. So you know what? That means you got a plan. So with a plan, you have to have a personal financial strategy. Contact us. I'm Tony S. at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
And I'm LaShonda J. at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
You can reach us on all of our social media platforms, including Instagram. We're on Facebook, of course. We're as the Houston Housewives of Finance
Official.
If it doesn't say official, it's not us. Of course, we're on all the social media platforms, okay? So don't even be a stranger. Just Google us. I guarantee
Yes.
you'll find us. Check out our website. How do they do that?
Yes, you can. Well, we'll show it for you. Show it to you right now. Is hhofinance.com. Okay, check it out. You can go there, schedule an appointment, complimentary. Browse through. We're going to put the event up today. It'll be posted there for the 27th. Get an annual review. Just like you need an annual checkup, you need an annual financial review as well, you
Absolutely.
guys. Things change. Your health change. Your finances change. You've got to be on top of all of that, okay? So please reach out to us. You can also text us. You can text Ask HHOF. That's Ask HHOF to 31996. Okay, so we're coming at you at all kinds of ways. Whether you want to be on your phone, on the website, social media, whatever way to reach us, we're available. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Wow.
again, Chris, thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
you're welcome, you're welcome.
Hey, you guys got to become a part of this army.
Yes.
I need you in the army.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
I do.
Be sure to get in contact with Chris. One more time, last time, give him your information.
cnoble@therose.org.
All right, you got
Okay.
it.
All right.
Hey, make it a blessed day. This was a great, incredible show.
Absolutely. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, right here on the Money Factor on the Sphere. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, ladies.